We are now 4 days away from the greatest temporary mass migrations of humans to see a natural event, or as we like to call it, the Great American Eclipse. And traffic has already began to back up across some states. Take a look at these photos. This is shot on Highway 26 near Prineville, Oregon, which is close to Bend, where traffic getting into the town was backed up for 15 miles. We should say there's a 4-day event happening there. Thousands of cars are making their way between the towns of Redmond and Prineville, doubling the normal drive time. Traffic officials are planning on reprogramming traffic lights in the area to try to mitigate some of the issues, but they say the roads are going to be busy. Be prepared for traffic congestion. Here in the Treasure Valley, you may have seen a social media post going around saying that ISP is estimating the drive time from Boise to Weiser to be 10.5 hours the morning of the eclipse on Monday. We checked with the Idaho Office of Emergency Management, and they say that's just a rumor. They say it's impossible to predict exactly how long drive times are going to be, but one thing they do know, it's going to take a lot longer than normal.
One of the things that we'd really recommend is for people to be patient. If you know going in that you're going to be stuck in traffic for a long time, even within the Treasure Valley area, make plans for that. Also, we just really can't stress enough, just go get a gallon of water, a couple of gallons of water, put them in your car.
This isn't the only rumor circulation and circulating around. There are others like cell phone towers going down and stores running out of supplies. Now, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, we look into these and much more and let you know which ones are true and which ones are not. If you're making travel plans to see the total solar eclipse on Monday, Idaho Transportation Department has some tips for you. ITD will have traffic counters positioned throughout the state at various entry points, as well as areas inside the path of totality. You will be able to find that information starting tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at itd.idaho.gov/eclipse. 511.idaho.gov is a website and app that gives you traffic conditions on roads throughout the state. For folks planning to travel from the Treasure Valley to areas in the path of totality, ITD has a message.
There's going to be a lot of people out there, and the one thing that would create a traffic jam is an accident. So drive safely, drive carefully, eyes on the road, hands on the wheel, mind on driving.
ITD wants to remind motorists to fill up with gas and have extra food and water when you travel. On the day of the eclipse, most construction projects will be postponed, but there will be maintenance staff ready to help. There will be more officers on the roads to assist and to keep their eye out on impaired drivers. ITD is also asking travelers who don't have to head back on Monday to consider coming back maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday to ease up on some of that congestion. Coming up in just a moment, an easy way to check out the eclipse without special glasses while helping kids get a lesson in engineering and physics. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Scott Dorval. And that is the key, is to take your time, because we're already seeing the traffic coming in, as we said, in Central Oregon.
A lot of people that are planned ahead and they're going ahead, but there'll be that core of people, hopefully it's a small core, that are driving the day of, and that's what, if you could try to avoid that, obviously going to be the best situation. It looks like the weather's starting to cooperate. As we get closer, I feel a little bit more confident that most areas will see lots of sunshine. A couple problem areas are possible. It could pop up in eastern portions of the state right now, but as we get to tomorrow, new computer information will come in and give me a better handle on that. In the meantime, let's enjoy that beautiful visibility. This is amazing when you take a look at what's happening downtown. Look how crystal clear that is. Our sunset is at 8:45 this evening, getting earlier, making the nights pleasant. The wind has slackened. We had a northwest breeze earlier, but it's 87 degrees and no wind right now, so it's still on the warm side. It'll cool down a little bit later. We've been near 90. That's where we are in many valley locations, now near 80 in the mountains, and it has been amazing in those higher elevations, getting into the 30s at Redfish Lake in the morning, and then sunshine and beautiful temperatures in the afternoon. Look how clear it is. Cloud cover staying to the east. If we have a threat of clouds on Monday, it may come up from the south and affect these regions from the Magic Valley to Idaho Falls and Jackson Hole, something we'll keep a close eye on. Right now, the western part of the state forecast continues to stay clear, and same story for this evening and for tomorrow. 83 degrees this evening, sunny, very warm. That northwest breeze at 10 to 15 has slackened in many locations to come up at times, go back down to calm. Eventually, it will be mostly calm overnight tonight. 55 to 60 generally in the Treasure Valley tomorrow morning, and tomorrow afternoon, just like today with the sunshine, but a little hotter, hitting 93. And then we'll have sunshine into much of the weekend. My extended forecast through our eclipse is coming up.
All right, thanks, Scott. If you're planning on watching the eclipse from home, or are traveling to a better location and you don't have Eclipse glasses, experts say there's another way to safely view the once-in-a-lifetime event. 6 on Your Side Stephanie Hale-Lopez has details.
With solar eclipse glasses flying off the shelves, folks without them are wondering how they'll safely view the eclipse. The answer is pretty simple.
A pinhole projector so that you can just make something out of common everyday household items and then watch the sun safely with your family.
Using items such as a cereal box, paper, and aluminum foil, you can easily and quickly make one at home. This do-it-yourself device projects the shadow of the moon, blocking out the sun, into the cardboard box. Once your projector is made, stand with the sun at your back and look into the box to see the projected shadow of the eclipse.
The one thing you should never do with a pinhole projector is look through the hole at the sun. And so with small children, sometimes it's tempting, you punch a hole and tell them it's a viewer, for them to look through the hole at the sun. And you should never do that. The nice thing with a pinhole projector made out of a cereal box is with this design, it's actually impossible to look through the hole at the sun.
Visit our website, 6onyourside.com, for step-by-step directions on how to make your own. Stephanie Hale-Lopez, 6 on Your Side.
That pinhole projector is just one of the ways students can get hands-on with the solar eclipse, from creating eclipse viewers to reading about the moon and even doing some solar system art projects. State Superintendent Sherry Barr is urging everyone to take advantage of this teachable moment from Mother Nature.
Kids, you can make projectors out of boxes, it's art projects, it's math projects, it's engineering projects. But again, just want you to take a look at all of those opportunities that you have to incorporate STEM in this educational event across the nation.
If you need some inspiration for eclipse-related activities to do with your kids, just visit our website at 6onyourside.com. A Canyon County business owner is making sure students in his community start the school year off on the right foot with the school supplies they need. Scott Glover, director of the Alsip and Persons Funeral Chapel in Nampa, is donating close to 50 backpacks filled with items such as crayons, folders, paper, and highlighters to students in need at Endeavor Elementary School. Each backpack also has an inspirational quote from Dr. Seuss.
My mom's a teacher. She's a middle school teacher, and I've always seen students that struggle financially to just have the right school supplies for the first day of school.
Glover says he will bring the backpacks to Endeavor Elementary on Friday. There are 24 backpacks for boys, 24 for girls. Wednesday is the first day of school for students in Nampa.
Now, the Rodeo Roundup, brought to you by Peterson Stampede.
The mother of an Idaho Marine killed in action got a special surprise today. Julia Cochran was hoping to meet the Marine Color Guard who's in town for the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Danny Pugmire with the Idaho Veterans Garden made it all happen. One bed at the garden is planted in honor of Lance Corporal Kenneth Cochran, who died in 2012. The special meeting is just one more reason why Julia says she loves the Idaho Veterans Garden.
It's kind of our way of keeping our sons alive, their heritage, their legacy. We can come to the gardens and visit and cry and be upset and feel bad, but we can also be happy and we can exchange those stories, and in that they come alive.
The Marine Mounted Color Guard brought their horses with them to meet Cochran. The Color Guard is part of this year's Caldwell Night Rodeo, which runs through Saturday. Tomorrow night is Patriot Night. A familiar face who knows a lot about big wins hopes to pull off another one for the Salvation Army. Former Boise State Bronco and current State Farm agent Ian Johnson is trying to raise $25,000 for the Booth Marion Pritchett School. If awarded the State Farm Assist grant, the money will go towards helping the Salvation Army build a new school campus and community center in West Boise.
You know, for me, you see young people every single day. We see them here, and you see the decisions people make. And our goal is always to be able to be a resource and aid people and help them no matter what their situation is. So when you see teens that are pregnant, teens that are with children, I'm a father myself. I know how hard that is with a full-time job, with an education. And when you look at high school students, how could you expect them to do this on their own?
The Booth Marion Pritchett School program is the only school of its kind that serves pregnant and parenting teens in the Treasure Valley. Some superheroes showed up at the Boise Public Library today, but they weren't there to fight crime. Officials unveiled the library's new Comic-Con artwork mural, celebrating the library's Comic-Con 5th anniversary. And what they say is their patrons' growing interest in those graphic novels and definitely the comic books.
comics were always like my heart, and my heart is always in Boise. So this is kind of a attempt for me to like give back to the community that kind of brought me up.
You can check out the superhero murals on the walls of the main library. That's at 8th and River. The library's Comic Con is set for August 26th and 27th. Coming up on 6 on Your Side, where did the summer go? Up next, believe it or not, time to head out to the Western Idaho Fair.
And still feeling a little summery out there, although the mornings have been cooler. Beautiful view from Sun Valley. How about the sunshine today? Maybe you're headed here for the total solar eclipse. I'll have the forecast for Sun Valley and a few other locations around the region for Monday's eclipse coming up next.
You're watching 6 on Your Side with Don Nelson, Michelle Edmonds, and Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast.
Finishing touches are being put on the Ferris wheel and vendors are stocking up on hot dogs and caramel apples. Preparations are underway for this year's Western Idaho Fair. The fun starts Friday with carnival rides, exhibits, and food. Today, all of the food and quilt entries were being judged. The concert lineup includes Scotty McCrary, Huey Lewis in the News, Joan Jett, and then Trace Atkins Friday night. Those concerts, of course, free when you buy a ticket into the fair.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast.
Everybody has eclipse fever, and so we're going to get right to that eclipse forecast. Weezer, the western part of the state, the first place in the state of Idaho to see the eclipse, basically. The main large valley is going to be filled with people, and the weather's looking good. It is billed as one of the best locations in the nation because typically the weather is dry, low elevation in the west and the Intermountain West, and it looks like it will live up to its bill. Sunshine, high temperature hits 94. Got a big festival going on in Weezer. That's 3-4 days at least. Good visibility. Maximum eclipse here is at 11:26. So send it around that to 2 minutes and 5 seconds of totality. All this for 2 minutes, right? Some places a little bit more, some places a little less, depending on what part of the eclipse path you are in. So it looks good in the Weezer area. In the Central Mountains, slight chance of getting a couple clouds, but I'm still thinking we'll probably have plenty of sunshine and likely good visibility for the Stanley area at 11:29. 2 minutes and 12 seconds in Stanley itself. If you're closer to Redfish Lake, it will be even more than that by another 15 to 20 seconds or so. Expecting to be 80 degrees for high temperature. Some nice weather here in the higher elevations. And there's a chance, again, we could be seeing a little cloud cover for eastern portions of Idaho, between Idaho Falls, the eastern valleys there, the upper Snake River Valley, and up towards Jackson Hole, Wyoming as well. So the chart is showing poor visibility with some cloud cover around. High temperature hits 87, but we'll have to see how much of this cloud cover materializes overnight and maybe breaking up before the eclipse occurs itself. So we'll have to check that out. It just takes a little bit of a hole in the clouds where you are. A minute 47 seconds at Idaho Falls. There are places closer to the center of the path of totality that will be more than 2 minutes there. So this is the chart that we're looking at. This is showing the latest chart from this morning. Shows this little band of cloud cover again to the south. Dry weather everywhere else. 11:16 in Newport. 10 minutes later, it's across the state and into Weiser at 11:26, and across the state of Idaho in 10 minutes as well. So moving with a shadow about 2,000 miles per hour. It will slow down to around 1,500 miles per hour because of the physics of what's going on in the upper atmosphere, or I should say out of the upper atmosphere, with the way the Earth is revolving or rotating, and then the way the moon is traveling as well. So here's the clear weather. This is that chance of some cloud cover in Jackson Hole. Center part of the nation from Nebraska through southern Illinois and Missouri may have some cloud cover issues, and possibly down to Charleston, but a lot of places could see some pretty nice weather again. About an hour and a half to go across the nation, and because it's this time of year, which is generally a drier time of year, you can have a lot of places. This is just an amazing timing here. You're talking about an eclipse going across the entire United States, first time since the 19-teens, about 1918 or so, and you're dealing with the path of totality, the entire nation getting at least some part of a solar eclipse. It's in August, one of the driest months of the year, and it's in the late morning, at least for the western half of the United States, which is generally the driest time of day, so pretty impressive. Everywhere you see green, looks like we should have good visibility, but you can see some chances. I think Nashville's probably going to be okay, but it's a close call. We'll keep an eye on that, and we're going to keep an eye on Idaho Falls, of course, closer to home. Here's our Toyota Tower Cam network showing beautiful visibility. Let's hope the sky's a deep blue like this when we have the eclipse, because there'll be a dramatic change. In Boise, it won't be a total solar eclipse, but the color will just start to drain out of everything. As we get towards that maximum eclipse, we may have that diamond ring effect, possibly in the Boise area, maybe just north of Boise. That's prolonged because we don't go total with the eclipse, but that little last glow of sunshine will still be hanging on as the moon 99.5% eclipses the sun in Boise. 87 right now. The wind is calm. We've had some breezes around. We may get a few more breezes. Look at this. 97 in Medford, so some heat will start to build on in. So our temperatures are going to come up a little bit, showing 88 for our high temperature today. So we may go up 4 or 5 degrees for tomorrow. What about Redfish Lake? 36 degrees in the morning, nice and cool and chilly, and this is very close. In fact, right over here is the center line for the eclipse. And so what a location to view a total solar eclipse right there at Redfish Lake. I'm sure there'll be a lot of folks up here. 36 in the morning today. Look how clear. Look at that visibility today. Let's hope it's like this on Monday, right? Temperatures near 79 degrees. The extended forecast, again, I'm seeing maybe partly cloudy Saturday, but sunshine Sunday and Monday. A chance of storms coming in. Just got an update on some of the numbers here. It shows mostly sunny on Sunday and partly cloudy. And then you see a partly cloudy now popping in. This is an update to the forecast here. So kind of going back and forth with the chance for some cloud cover. That will probably be favoring more later in the day for the Stanley area. So in the morning, we're hoping to keep that sky clear. So right now, skies are mostly clear everywhere. You look across the northwest, there's nothing going on. Now, sunshine continues for the next several days, and you see it right here. We'll just roll this all the way through Sunday. This is the future cast now. But notice on Sunday, see these clouds down to the south here? This is what could develop further to the north and linger into Monday morning. So that could be the issue. Here's my exclusive true view of tomorrow's weather today, and tomorrow will be a dandy. A little hot in the afternoon, low 90s, temperatures getting into the low 90s, mid 90s in the Western Valley, about 92 in Boise, while in the Boise Mountains we'll likely see the 80s, and up in the Long Valley we'll be right around 82 degrees as well. Here is my extended forecast. 92 tomorrow and Saturday, then as we head towards Monday on our solar eclipse, about 91 degrees for the high. Could go to 97 on Tuesday, so there's still some heat around.
And better idea on those clouds tomorrow.
Every day we get closer and closer.
All right, thanks, Scott. Tragic news of another terrorist attack in Europe. In Barcelona, Spain, police say at least 13 people are dead and more than 80 injured after a van deliberately crashed into pedestrians. It happened in broad daylight in one of the city's busiest tourist areas. And just into the newsroom, ISIS has claimed responsibility, calling the attackers soldiers of the Islamic State. ABC's Elizabeth Hur has more.
Terror in Spain sending police and paramedics rushing to a major tourist attraction in Barcelona. Stunned eyewitnesses running for cover, confused and terrified.
But somebody was screaming, and then everybody started to run because they're screaming from behind, and everybody just ran forward. And then I'm feel sorry, there's a lot of old people. They must have trampled them as they went past.
Must have been doing 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. He was traveling at high speed, just sort of knocking. There were people being flung into the air.
It happened in the Las Ramblas district on a wide boulevard restricted to pedestrian traffic only, no cars, but around 5 p.m. local time. Authorities say a driver rammed a van into the crowd, running people over before apparently fleeing into a nearby restaurant, with police swarming the area and warning tourists and locals to shelter in place or stay away altogether.
I'd like to start by acknowledging the incident in Barcelona, which has the hallmarks, it appears, of yet another terrorist attack.
U.S. officials monitoring the situation say teams are in place ready to assist Americans in Spain. And President Trump tweeted the U.S. will do whatever is necessary to help. Be tough and strong. We love you. As for the investigation, the man who rented the van used in this attack has now been identified as Driss Ukabir. But at this time, investigators in Spain are not saying if that is the same man under arrest. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
How many glasses of wine or beer are too many? Up next, a surprising number of Americans are turning to alcohol to get through the day. Today's medical report after the break.
Brought to you by your local Edward Jones Financial Advisors, with more than 50 offices in the Treasure Valley. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.